This review is about Bungou Stray Dogs, or translated into literary Stray Dogs. It's quite a good anime, premiered in 2016. You can see it on Funimation and Crunchyroll, so it's subbed and dubbed. The studio that made it was called Bones, and they're pretty good, I have to say. They've had some pretty good animes. The problem is this anime is a 17 plus, so it's rated R, because there's quite a bit of violence, blood, you know, the usual. The genres, it's quite a mix. I would go with action, comedy, a bit of mystery, seinen maybe? Definitely superpowers and supernaturals. Those are sort of the things that we're going to go with. And it's quite a good anime. It started off with 12 in 2016. It's now gone on for about 3 years, so we're on season 3. Hopes for a season 4, but you never know. Here we go. Okay, we're starting off with Atsushi Nakajima. He was in an orphanage, and they've recently been plagued by a white tiger that would constantly come at night. And this is where Dazai and his team come in. I will go into the characters a bit more later on, but the 18-year-old Atsushi, apologies if I'm saying Nakajima's name wrong, it is just because I'm not Japanese, even though I would like to be, I think, sometimes. No, don't like to be, you know what I mean. I just really like that culture. Well, anyway, Osamu Dazai, who we'll call Dazai from now on, saved Atsushi from drowning because, well, he was found at the riverbank starving. We immediately found out about Dazai's superpower, which is the ability to not die. He literally has done everything under the sun. He also has become obsessed with suicide. I apologise, that is really a bad thing to base a character around from, but it's how it is. So, anyway, they soon found out that Atsushi then has the superpower of turning into a white tiger. Hence, then it puts him in a tight spot, because he either then has to be put down for the safety of the people, or he joins Dazai's supernatural team. So that's pretty much episode 1. Through this, the team then go on sort of like, well, let's say Sherlock Holmes kind of adventures. And I don't mean the ones, like, you know, back in the books. I mean, like, the modern version, with it being in, like, the modern version, Tokyo and all that. It's a very modern anime, and I will say, what sort of disappointed me, what didn't disappoint me, it frustrated me that then there was a Mafia involved. Hence why it became a R-rated anime. It's not, I would say you could easily get a 14-year-old to watch it without any scarring. There isn't anything too gruesome, it's just because there's quite a bit of violence. But let's face it, GTA 5's got more violence, and Christ, I know plenty of 13-year-olds who play that. So, let's see. When it comes to the animation itself, it's just modern. It's the animation that we're all quite used to at this point. And it's 2D, you can watch it in HD. Clean, bright colours, like, you know, the blondes are excessively blonde, the brunettes excessively brunette. It's basic. There is quite a bit of shading, actually, when it comes to more of the defined scenes. So, like, when Dazai kicks Atsushi's ass when he's in tiger mode. So, we'll get on to the characters themselves. We'll start with Dazai Osamu. He is 22, even though he does not look it. Well, I'm skipping some of the data I do have, like his birthday, his height, his weight, and his blood type, because they're not actually important. You want to know his dislikes, his likes, and how he progresses through the anime. So his likes: suicide, sake, crabs, and Ajinomoto, which is a Japanese kind of seasoning. He dislikes dogs. It is quite cute when this comes up because his reaction is adorable, considering he's just like. His ability is called No Longer Human, and it's the ability to nullify other abilities through touch, hence why Atsushi became human again. Well, not human, just his power was dissuaded. We go on to Atsushi Nakajima, which I'm gonna call him Atsushi, and Dazai. It's just, I can't, when I think about it, no one calls Dazai Osamu, not even Atsushi, they all call him Dazai, because it's just easier, I guess. Okay, as we know, Atsushi is 18, skip his birthday and all that. His lights are Shatsuke, cats, chameleons, and Yokohama. His dislikes are himself and the orphanage he grew up in, which is pretty obvious, I would say, at the end of the day. And his ability is Beast Beneath the Moon. And we do have some interesting facts about the name Atsushi. His name actually was based on a character from an author's short stories called The Tiger Man, where an unfulfilled bureaucrat wanders into the forest in pursuit of a voice which transforms him into a tiger. When he meets an old friend in the mountains later on, he temporarily transforms back and asks him to relay some of the poems back to humanity. The protagonist of the series, Atsushi, can transform into a white tiger, which has the capability of healing itself of any wounds. However, initially he has no control over this ability, which is fair enough. Now, excuse me for itching my nose. Now, I will say, the story mainly centers around these two, and you would get that idea. However, it is quite a big anime. You've got the thing about Dazai. He used to be part of the Mafia as an assassin. So this is what the anime is mainly about: is Dazai's past, Atsushi coming to terms with his mentor being not just a total weirdo, but a total psycho. So that's a bit of a learning curve, if you admit. Then we go on to the fact that Atsushi then has to learn through his powers to control them, and whilst also doing the sort of Sherlock Holmes, looking after people, trying to find out these things. I would say past episode 6, it becomes quite focused on the actual Port Mafia story, less on the fact that, the whole detective agency sort of thing. They get very quite into, and I think it carries on with that into season 2 and season 3. I haven't watched season 3. I'm going a bit through season 2 because I was enjoying the detective side of it, in all honesty, and Port Mafia a bit is interesting, but not my cup of tea. I'm not really into the whole fashion mafia type things. Well, you see the type of anime I watch. You saw the AMVs that used to be on this channel. I'm more into the comedy side. So, with that, Atsushi and Dazai are also followed around, well, sort of looked after by Doppo Kunikida. He's 22. He likes notebooks, fishing, lightly roasted bonito, and he does not like unplanned things or authority. His ability is called Lone Poet. Objects written into a paper of the notebook will come into existence. However, it does not work on objects larger than the notebook. Kunikida has also seen the object and understood its form and function in order to replicate it. So he can't just randomly conjure, let's say, a light pole, the light poles that you have outside the house. He can't do that. It's bigger than the notebook, so he'd have to have a notebook equal to its size. So he could probably do a torch if he understood it well enough. And then you'd have to replicate it right down, to its atoms. Very difficult. But Doppo he does work kind of hard to make sure Dazai... Well, Dazai has this ability where he gets girls to like him, but then through that liking of girls, he asks them to do a suicide pact with them. And then, with that suicide pact, Dopper then hits him on the head, because even if Dazai is handsome, he shouldn't be asking women to do that. And anyway, the woman would die and Dazai wouldn't. So that doesn't make much sense, does it? He's killing a woman. Now, the main enemy, and I put this as the main enemy, okay, we have the Port Mafia, but the Port Mafia are just doing this because the main enemy wants them to, really. His name is Ryunosuke Akutagawa. Sorry, I'm terrible with Japanese. He is 20, so he's younger than Dazai and most of the people in the agency. His likes are antique, calligraphies, paintings, teas, and figs. Doesn't like plants, dogs, baths, broad beans, and mandarins. Which is a bit weird, if you think about it. Okay, his ability is called... Oh, sorry. His ability is called Rashomon, a coat that turns into a black beast, which can tear everything apart. He is the member of the Port Mafia. He is based on the Japanese author of the same name, the legendary father of the Japanese short story. And his ability is named after the iconic short story, Rashomon. He is the homage to the protagonist of the original novel, whose moral debate ended in justifying the brutal robbery of an old woman's clothes to survive using her own reasoning. So, you can see he's not a well-liked character, even though his background is, he's not a very well-liked character. And he does get quite frustrating by the end. So, we're going to go on to the bit of the audio about it all now. Now, in the first season, the opening song is Trash Candy, and I love this song. Honestly, there are very few songs that I absolutely just come to adore in an anime. And Trash Candy is just, with the opening itself, revealing all the other characters, and also, sort of already going into Dazai's ability of not being able to die because he's falling. But I really like it because it even shows the anomalous character at the end with Elise, which then it's like, so there's like 3 sides to the story, which makes it more original, I guess. So the Trash Candy was made by sung by Grand Rodeo. They've done a few other things as well, and I would recommend listening to it even if you don't want to watch the anime. It's a pretty good song to listen to, and it's quite memorable in terms of openings. Now the first ending, excuse me, I'm going to do some Japanese again. Namae wo yobu yo, which also means call a name. But it doesn't say who it was by that. Excuse me on that. Excuse my language. Pretty much this one becomes more into the internal story of Dazai, Ryunosuke, and Atsushi, because Ryunosuke is obsessed with Dazai, and of course then Dazai is obsessed with Atsushi. I really feel like I'm saying his name wrong, but in all honesty, it ends up being it's a really good ending if you want a soft sort of rock music. I see this in a lot of animes recently. They're going towards the rock music type of openings, and it's like you've got to be really tender with it, because you could go Bullet for My Valentine type of rock music, which then goes slightly screamo, which is sort of what Trash Candy can be a bit. And then with Call a Name, it's sort of that soft Linkin Park type. If you ever listen to their later stuff, it's quite good, and of course I'm a Linkin Park fan, I've always have been. Some also other news, Bungo Stray Dogs actually got their own movie, It's called Bungou Stray Dog's Dead Apple, which was aired in 2018. I think it's dubbed and subbed now. Don't quote me on that. But there's been a live action announced back in July. So let's hope that's not going to be another Death Note situation, because I watched that. I just say, if you want to watch that, you should be a fan of the Destination movies. Final Destination movies. In conclusion, this is an R17 movie, anime. I would say if you are very into Mafia type animes, this is a really good one. It doesn't advertise as Mafia, but it should. So, because I think then though you'd get I think they'd get a better reception, because I think they only got 8 out of 10 on my anime list, and I think if they ever advertised a bit more on the Mafia side of things, because I personally, when I first watched this, I thought it was going to be a little bit like Ropa, with how the beginning was. The music at the beginning is very Ropa, like opening music. So I would say if you really are into this kind of thing, I would recommend it. I find it so original and unique to actually do supernatural in Mafia, because yeah, we've got like RPGs and all that, but we never really put the supernatural with it, like, you know, powers turning into a tiger, or but no longer the ability to live, or have a cloak around you that turns you into a crazy beast. It is really beautiful how it's done, and I would say Bone Studio, well done for actually turning this manga into an anime that a lot of people can actually enjoy. Like I said, I didn't get past season 2 because it went straight into the Mafia sort of aspect, and I would say that's not it for me. I was mainly looking at the detective bit. So remember, before I give you the scores, subscribe, comment and like the video. There are plenty of other videos out there. I hope you're enjoying the new Detroit Become Human Let's Play, and let's get to the ratings. The main rating I'm going to give is 8 out of 10, because honestly it's not perfect for me, but it's not that bad, if you know what I mean. The plot and the story is definitely a 9 out of 10. It's so unique. Just a minor bit, like, you know, I would only give it a 9 because of my general enjoyment of going into the Mafia scenes, where it just goes into fight scenes mainly. The animation design, 6 out of 10. It's just average. It's what you see every day. You see normally, like with the shading, the colours. Okay, you can tell the the characters from a lineup if you could. But could you say it's different from other anime in terms of how it's made? Not really. It's very similar. The characters, 8 out of 10. All of them are incredibly unique. I wouldn't be able to find a replicated character, especially with Dazai, Atsuki, and Doppo. Yunosuke, a little bit of your basic enemy type, but I would still say very good. The audio soundtrack, 7 out of 10. The ending, it was average for me, but like, you know, I gave full 5 points for the opening because I just love the whole sort of Bullet for My Valentine aspect to it. And well done Grand Rodeo for actually doing it, because it must have been real strange in her voice. So I would say those are my ratings. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Bye bye.